Hello and welcome to another Mechanic Matt video. Today I'm looking at a Citroen C4 Picasso with a 1.6 diesel engine. It's the 2014. Problem with this one is the car won't start unless you prime the filter head, and that's what I got set up here. There's a way of testing it because I think the filter head's faulty. So I put in a primer and I'm not actually using the filter head. Every time you switch the car off, if you leave it 5 or 10 minutes, you've got to prime it again. So I decided I'm going to use this primer kit that I've got and not even use the primer on the car and use the filter head on the car or even the filter. I'm just going straight in for now with a primer kit just to basically connect the hoses together and see what happens if I switch this off and leave it 5-10 minutes, might even leave it half an hour and see what goes on with it. So if I switch it off and come back to it, another problem is they don't like to run it with fuel in the car, which can also stop you getting DPF regenerations happening. Sometimes you need at least quarter of a tank, so it is a good idea to keep diesel in the car, but in this case all the problems have happened since they ran out of diesel. So I'm going to leave it for half an hour. I've got a one-way valve in that bit of pipe there that I might take that one-way valve out and do it again. Okay, here is the one-way valve that I wanted to take out of the system. I don't want to have something giving me a false reading on this little test that I've set up here. So I'm priming it again. Got the car started, I'm priming it. It's already started, but I want to get this so that I can switch it off and this time leave it more than the 5 or 10 minutes that you did before it wouldn't start. I'll leave it a half hour, maybe go and watch somebody else's YouTube videos whilst I'm waiting in my car, and then I'll come back and see if this starts straight away. But the idea of this is replacing the filter and the filter head. It's only for a temporary thing. I wouldn't run a car without a diesel fuel filter. But this is to prove that the filter head is the problem, because it's only done it since they've run out of diesel and they're trying to start the car. I think maybe the little seal's gone in the filter that when they've been pressing away in it and it's drawing in air and allowing the fuel to return to the tank. So I'll switch it off and leave it half an hour here and then try it again without priming it first. Sometimes diagnostics aren't electrical faults, they're mechanical, and you have to be good at mechanical problems as well as electrics to do the diagnostics. It's not always just wires, so you need a bit of theory and knowledge on both sides of how an engine works and fuel systems work. So I'm going to go away and leave this a little bit now and just see if it works when I come back to it. So I'll give it half an hour. Okay, that's been half an hour of this just sitting here like this. I'm not going to prime it first. I'm just going to leave it. There's no filter. It's basically the hose into the filter is now looped around to the hose out of the filter. I'm not going to prime it though. I want to see if this starts. I do need to use a jump pack though because the battery is dead from them trying to get this started before. Let's kill the battery. So I know it's dark, you can't see much in here. Here we go. So it works. I actually started straight away. No crank time, no real crank time. It started straight away, and that's what I'm here for. To see, can I prove that it's the filter head? And I think this proves it quite nicely. If they go and get a filter head, I can come back and fit it for them, and this will be okay. But it is advisable to leave a filter on and not run a car like this, but it's the only way I could think of to prove that was going to be the fault. So yeah, if they go and get one, I can come back and fit it for them, or they could fit it themselves. And I'm not using the return line there is still plugged into the filter. I just left that on there. It's not really making a difference. It's only the two white lines that I'm using. Here I am back at the car, fitted a new filter head, and a filter. Came from eBay like that, ready made. I've just fitted that. It does have a dead battery, so I've jumped this to get it going. But now I'm going to leave it half an hour. I've had it running with the new one. Didn't take long to start. There's the old one. I used a primer to prime it instead of this. But if I give it a little bit whilst I put my tools away, put everything away in the car, give it maybe half an hour, because that was long enough before that it wouldn't start. And if it starts, it will need the jump pack, but that's all it needs. And we've proved it already by not using a filter, the head of the filter as well. We just connected the two white hoses, the inlet to the filter and the outlet from the filter. Ignored the green one, left that on there, and yeah, it was fine. It worked fine, but if you use this on the old one, it wouldn't start. So I'll give it a few minutes and see how I go on when I start it. Okay, let's get this going. What am I looking at here? Okay, let's see if it starts. Key's still in. Press the button. Yeah, it's fine. So there we go, the proof of it. It just needed a filter head. And it runs fine now. Well, I don't know if it runs fine, but it's starting fine. That'll do, that's all I'm here for. It's getting dark. Well, it's pretty dark. Thanks for watching. Hopefully it's helpful to somebody if you've got a problem with your car. Again, I'm trying to do some way of testing that the new part's going to fix it before I buy the new part, or the customer buys the new part. And in this case, I just didn't use a filter for a short time and it ran fine. Also, when I switched it off, gave it a half hour, went back to it, it started fine. And that was the problem with the old faulty filter head. It wouldn't start. You'd have to prime it again on top of the filter head. With the old one. New one, I didn't prime it or anything. It just starts straight away. So this one's finished. Hopefully it's helpful to somebody, and thanks for watching.